What's going on YouTube? My name is GinJTCG or Chris, and today I'm back with another crazy single prize deck that actually this happened before I started making videos. It was the last online tournament I played in before I started my YouTube channel. I played against someone playing Steelix Dodrio, and since then I've been trying to come up with a more consistent way to make the deck, and I think I've finally done it. Last night my family came over, I was hanging out with them, they left, and then it just hit me while I was eating dinner after they left, that I was like, yo, what if I just take out the Durant and just stick in Dodrio? But I'll explain the combo right now, and you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. So right now, you're going to play the Steelix, right? 180 HP, 1 energy for Earthquake, does 130 damage, and 30 damage to each of your bench Pokemon, which initially you're like, alright, that's pretty trash, you know, who wants to damage your own Pokemon? Well, when you pair it with Dodrio, that does 30 more damage for each damage counter on it, you ramp up damage so unbelievably fast. I mean, if you have 9 damage counters on it, so if it has 10 HP left, you will swing for 270, which is absolutely ridiculous for a single prizer. And after, like, you know, a couple Earthquakes plus like a damage pump or two, it's not super hard to you know, ramp up that damage on Dodrio, and you never really have to do 270. Ideally, you just want to be two-shotting everything you can. So this deck is going to do much better into decks like Raging Bolt or like Charizard, stuff like that, where you're like two-shotting and they're consistently just swinging into one Pokemon at a time. But if you're playing up against something like Dragapult, more or less an auto loss. I mean, there's no way to stop the damage counters. You're going to kind of get cooked by that. Lost Box is a bit better. Sableye can devastate you in the late game, but you have to remember with Lost Box, you really don't need much damage to KO really anything on their board. Because, like, they have much lower HP Pokemon. Maybe you gotta really set up, like, one Dodrio just to take out an Iron Hands, which will more likely than not take 2 prizes against you because of amp you very much, and most of our attackers only have 100 HP. Or if, like, Steelix is being swung into, you know, it'll be under that 120 mark. So, you know, like, that matchup, I think, is a little more chaotic. But if you set up well, I didn't actually get a chance to match up against the Lost Box deck when I made this deck, and kind of was trying to play it through and work out a couple kinks. So I don't exactly know how well that matchup will go. I'm just kind of theorizing. But a lot of other matchups, I honestly kind of like Guardy. You know, yes, that deck can hit the bench, but you don't really care as long as you're attacking every turn. And since you're attacking with single prizers, honestly, it's not too bad. To beef up some HP, we're also playing Hero's Cape and 1 copy of Luxurious Cape. So there is a scenario where you might want to one-shot a Gardevoir, one-shot a Charizard. I mean, if you're up against Dragapult, just move on to the next game. But if you're playing it through, you could put a Cape on Dodrio and try to legitimately one-shot a you know, like a super beefy Stage 2 EX. Or maybe if you're up against Raging Bolt and they got a Charm or Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, you might want a Cape just to take a one-shot. But I think a matchup like that, as long as you're two-shotting, you're fine. But against like a Stage 2 deck, maybe you want to go for a one-shot, so there's some potential there. In terms of the supporter count, we're playing 4 copies of Research, 4 copies of Iono, just for like heavy
consistency, as well as 2 copies of Hassel, which is a card I've really come to love since the Ogie Dogie video I made a bit, a couple weeks ago at this point. But this card, so it's similar to like Raihan, where like you have to get knocked out to use it next turn. But since we're playing a relatively low HP single prize deck with Dodrios, you know, it's not super hard to get knocked out often. And you look at the top 8 cards of your deck and then take 3 of them and put them in your hand. So it's essentially like, oh, you know, you got knocked out and you've got a decent hand, you know, you don't really want to research and you just need like maybe 1 card to just have the nuts. Well, go looking for it. In terms of our draw engine, it's also our backup attacker Dodrio. With Zooming Draw, you can put 1 damage counter on Dodrio and draw a card. And since this deck is playing a very like concise list, I feel like you most of the time only need an extra card or 2 just to keep an attack going and start setting up a Pokemon on the bench for next turn. So, you know, putting some extra damage on Dodrio can help boost its damage output, and then it also lets you draw cards. I feel like it's a pretty solid combo. And in case you're up against something like Greninja, like in Lost Box, and you don't want to take extra bench damage after you got set up a little bit, we are playing a copy of Manaphy, or maybe you have to swing with Steelix in the late game, but you're going to end up KOing like 3 of your Dodrios. Maybe you just put down the Manaphy then, because Manaphy will prevent all bench damage, even from oh, actually, no, it's just from opponent's Pokemon. Yeah, so you gotta be careful. I never actually ran into the scenario where I was gonna KO my Dodrios, because usually once they're close to, like, you know, getting KO'd themselves, I'll swing into it. So I guess you really can't use Manaphy now that I think about it. So, whoopsies. But
Hopefully that doesn't happen to me in the recording. Knowing my luck. Actually, you know what? I gotta stop talking because the last couple of videos, I swear, like, I'll say something to devastate me, and then I'll be like, oh, I hope it doesn't happen like 2 seconds later. It's happening. So, hopefully, fingers crossed, that I won't have to realize Manaphy doesn't protect my Pokemon. But, you know, we'll see what happens when we get there. We're also playing high Pokemon Search just to make sure we're setting up. We've got 3 copies of Artazon, 3 copies of Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball, and 3 Great Ball, just to ensure we're getting all of the Pokemon out as soon as possible. Because if you get then all the Pokemon from this deck, you are cooking past that. For energy, we've got 7 Metal Energy for the Steelixes, as well as 2 Jet Energy, in case we want to pivot and attach it to Dodrio, bring it to the active, and then swing with that and save our Steelix. We've also got 1 Earthen Vessel, which isn't a bad card to draw into, and 3 Rod, just to make sure we're cycling back Pokemon and energy as needed. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the deck. It's a ton of fun to play. Like, if you just want a really, really random, goofy kind of deck to play and bring to a locals, play with your friends, I think this is it. I think right now, this deck might have not too many auto losses. I mean, Dragapult is, I think it's an auto loss, but, like, past that, the deck has some bad matchups, but, I mean, to be expected when you're playing against a, you know, when you're playing a card that just damages your own bench, there's only so much you can do with it. A lot of decks are going to take advantage of that, especially when Greninja is super, super dominant in the format, and you have to play Manaphy to protect your bench, but then you also kind of hurt yourself. But, oh, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, you can play Manaphy, and you could still, like, use Zooming Draw to put damage counters on it, as well as Damage Pump. So, you know, if you're up against a Greninja, it's not the end of the world, but it does make the setup a little bit harder. So, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the list. So, I mean, let's get into it. Let's see how well we could do in 3 games with Steelix Dodrio. Welcome to match number 1, where we're going first, and I have to say, I am playing on the casual ladder. We're also taking a mulligan. I tried going on the ranked ladder. I matched with 2 Dragapults in a row. I tried to play it through, and yes, it's an auto loss. I promise you it doesn't go well. Don't do it. I'm just sitting here upset because I'm like, man, dude, I just kept, of course, I matched with Dragapult, and then I played a 3rd game, and I matched with Regidrago V-Star, which at first I'm like, alright, I might be able to fight this one through, and then I forgot that they also play Dragapult, usually 2 copies, and the opponent I played against in the 3rd game had 2 Dragapults in discard. I went first on their first turn, because they were able to use research, and they just started with 2, and I'm like, well, this is great. So I tried playing that one through, and I still got cooked. So I'm just, oh my god, we're playing Chien-Pao on the casual ladder. That's the, it's going to be one of these games, huh? It's one of these types of days, but it's alright. What do I want to do here? So I think I want to actually, I really wanted to Ultra Ball and get another Doduo, but I don't think I'm going to be able to, and keep all the energy in hand. Because I could attach one here. I could Ultra Ball and get rid of energy and Dodrio just to get 2 down, but I don't know if that'll help me much. So, is it even worth it? I don't think so. I think it might be better just to keep it for Steelix, and then next turn I can top deck, use Dodrio and draw, and then Ultra Ball to get another Doduo down. And our opponent played Manaphy, which is like whatever. Chien-Pao is going to be more of a fun match. It OHKOs us. It's got Greninja, so we need Manaphy to protect our Pokemon from their raiding Greninja, but not stop our Steelix, which could help our strat. And then we can just casually keep swinging with Dodrios. Even Onixes are one-shotting Chien-Paos because they're weak to Steel. So Chien-Pao, honestly, as long as you get Manaphy down, like, we're going first, which is great, and as long as next turn we get Manaphy down, I think we're going to have a pretty fine time into Chien-Pao. But yeah, I know. I'm sorry I'm playing on the casual ladder. I try to take every deck on the ranked ladder, but I'm not trying to show this deck getting hammered by Dragapult. It's an auto loss. You don't want to take my word for it. Go find Dragapults and go play against them. It's not fun. it's not fun at all. I was getting cooked. But, you know, the deck is fun. The deck is actually a ton of fun to play. Just because it's such a dumb strat. Like, when it gets going, you're like, oh, wow, this is goofy. I like this. Do I really want to get rid of another energy? Like, no. But I played 3 Rod. So, I played 3 Rod. I could actually get rid of a Dodrio, but I don't know how many are prized, so I'm going to hold on to it in case I prized a couple, and I prized 1. We need Steelix. Good thing Manaphy's in the deck. If that was prized, we'd be hurting. But for now, I can evolve this guy. I could attach the energy here, and I think I'll do that just so I know I have a backup attacker for next turn, and I'll Iono now and hopefully get Artazon or Nest Ball. Or both, because I want Manaphy and another Dodrio down, and we get all types of goodies for next turn, except for a Pokemon we could use to draw, or he draws some porters, so that's good. So for now, I'll give him more Frigibacks, whatever, that's fine. I want a Manaphy down. I can Nest Ball for another Doduo, and then I can Great Ball, see what I can get off the Great Ball. I really like Dodrio. Another Doduo would be nice, but I'm going to need more draw next turn. So I like that a little more. And then, do I want to Rod back anything? Not yet. I just want to swing Earthquake for KO. Go up 2 prizes, which is massive, especially with the Steelix. And then we can take 1, 2. What's nice is even if they get some crazy play... Oh, Hassel is going to go crazy. Or Hassel, I don't know. You guys know I'm not good at pronunciation, so... I think it's Hassel. Hassel sounds right in my mind. But then again, Skizor also sounded right in my mind, and I got yelled at like crazy for that. So and Arceus, which I was talking to people in the comments about. It makes sense that it's Arceus, or something like the C is more like you get the K sound from the C, but the Arceus just makes sense in my mind, so I'm running with Arceus. But they might get what I was originally going with that, canceling Colo play on Manaphy, which could take 2 prizes this turn, and that could hurt a bit, but we could still use Steelix to KO Chien-Pao, so I think we'll still be fighting pretty well into this match. And they're going to vacuum away Artazon, which is fine, because if they get rid of their only vacuum, we have Hero's Cape, and I would love to use Hero's Cape, or Luxurious Cape. And they just pass. Oh, that's so big, because we can take a KO with Earthquake on Steelix. We're swinging 130. So we actually have a banger of a hand, to be honest. So I'm going to use my... Actually, you know what? I'm not going to be able to swing with Steelix next turn, because I'll end up KOing this guy. Oh, no, I'll put it at 80, so I got 1 more zooming draw, and then I can't attack with Steelix until I use this Dodrio, which... Oh. You know what I could do? I could Jet Energy up this Doduo. How much are you swinging for? 4 times 3 is 12, plus 10, 130. All right, I'm taking it. I'll swing with this guy here. Doesn't really save me for much, but I am able to use my Steelix's next turn on this Chien-Pao, which I think will help us more. Even if I sack a Dodrio, which is actually right now it's half our draw engine, that's fine. I've got 2 Ultra Ball on Hassel, so I should be able to be okay. And we got Dodrio again. So off Hassel, I really just want to get... Somehow, I just want 1 more Dodrio, or Doduo. If I could get that, I think I'll be in a decent spot. But, yeah, this is going to be a fun rest of the game. I mean, we're up 3 prize cards against Chien-Pao. I think we might have secured it for the most part. I got to be careful with the Steelixes because I also don't want to KO my Manaphy. But maybe if I get Damage Pump, I can move 20 damage off it, and that could help. Would it? Because then they'd be at 10, plus 30, 40, and then... Okay, it actually wouldn't. I need 2 damage pumps to save my Manaphy, but that's alright. We're going to get Iono'd here, which hurts a bit. I had a banger of a hand, and I still get Iono, so I'm cool with that. And I could just Ultra Ball away Onix and top deck. I don't need any more Steelixes. If they swing with Chien-Pao and take a KO, I'm swinging with Steelix and taking one right back. So that is fine. That is absolutely fine for us. They're going to Ultra Ball here. I'm happy, at least on the casual ladder, I'm up against a legit Chien-Pao deck. Like, this deck so far is, like, pretty stock Chien-Pao. It's not like I'm playing against someone who's newer to the game. I'd feel bad if I was, like, smacking around some new player to the game. But if I'm up against a legit Chien-Pao, I will stay satiated and happy that Steelix's belly is full from taking KOs on these angry Ice Kitties. And, oh my god, are they about to swing with backs next turn? That's... yeah, so they're bricking a little bit harder than I think they would have hoped. And they play the Lumineon. That is 2 prize food for Dodrio. And they get boss's orders. They might just take out my other Dodrio. Actually, wait, what? Why did they take boss? They pass? What? Excuse me? Oh, well, if that's the case, I can... zooming draw twice and then retreat swing with Steelix. That's interesting. I thought for sure they would have wanted to swing, but I guess not. I don't mind Luxurious Cape. They have boss actually now, so I don't want to play Luxurious Cape because nothing is really going to live it as nicely as I want. You know what I think I might do? Just Ultra Ball away Iono and Onix and play Research here. I know they've only got boss in their hand. Maybe they just prized like all their Irida. Like all the red. They played 1, I believe. Maybe they prized the rest.
Our opponent has played 2 Irida and 1 Iono's hit the discard as well, so that's not bad. And I'm going to research here. I've got Rod. I could get back this Dodrio. And boom. And we got Switch as well, so I could even keep the energy here. That is actually so sweet. So let's switch into Steelix. Do I want to play Cape right now? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I want to just swing and swing hard. And this Dodrio is swinging for 280 next turn because it's 270 off the damage counters plus 10, 280 perfect math on V-stars. And we've taken 5 prize cards against GinPal, and they've seemed to be too scared to take 1. So that is fine. They're going to promote Bax here, and they can't even KO with Bax Caliber. They need to swing with GinPal to take a KO, but if they do that, our active Dodrio here is ready to rumble. And if they somehow get Greninja and like cancel Cologne and loop things and KO this Dodrio and that Dodrio, I promote Steelix and swing also for the victory. So I think I literally just have game on board no matter which way we put it right now, which might be one of the fastest games I've played so far for this channel. But definitely a fun one. They played another vacuum. Yo, thank God I didn't play that Cape. I mean, I don't think it matters. I think we've taken such an insane lead. We'll be okay. But still, thank God I didn't get that Cape. I really didn't want to see that Cape go. So they're going to use Super Cold and get some energy down. And I really don't. Actually, no, I could just swing. I could KO like my whole board, give them a bunch of prizes, and give me my last prize. So yeah, if I swing now, I'll give them a prize on Manaphy and one of my Dodrios, but I'm going to put the Cape on the other one, so I'll give them 2 prizes. I'll take my last one. I know I'm swinging 130, but this deck is weak to steel, thankfully. So Steelix goes crazy in this matchup, and like a Doduo or 2. GinPal, I think, might be like one of the best matchups for our deck, as long as you could get a good Manaphy down. If you could get a good Manaphy down, you're chilling. But you know what we could do? If I top deck Jet, I did it. Alright, so that's fine. I'm just going to put the Cape down on Manaphy. I want Manaphy to live. And our Dodrios can be sacrificed. I'm going to swing 260 on their active. I'm going to KO pretty much half my board. And give them a couple prizes. But I'll take my last one, so it shouldn't matter too much. And that will wrap it up for relatively easy game number 1. I mean, that one was more or less a little stress-free, which is always nice. Never a bad shout when you got a more casual game number 1 after getting hammered by your auto loss for 3 games straight, because now I realize Drago's another auto loss. It's just Dragapult. Dragapult is miserable. So we're going to just keep it on the casual ladder today. Guarantee, we're playing more of like a very gimmicky deck. It's not the highest level of competitiveness, so you know what? I'm alright with rocking it on the casual ladder. This isn't a rogue deck I'm preaching to win regionals. This is a chaotic deck I think would be fun for a local. So let's keep it on the casual ladder for today, and let's go into game number 2 and see if we could guarantee a positive record for Steelix Dodrio. Welcome to match number 2. We open up with a mulligan, which is alright. I mean, I'll take it. 2 mulligans. Now you're pushing it, Pokemon Trading Card Game Live. I don't want to see that. And a rougher first hand. Are we going first at least? No. Oh, wait. Yeah, we are. Okay, that's not bad. Because I can Ultra Ball away, research, and maybe my top deck. I might even just get rid of boss. Doesn't really matter. Because I'm going to. And we're up against a grass box. Man, there's a lot going on that bench. Okay. Alright, let me slow down. So we want to attach this here. I don't know if they'll be able to take a KO next turn. That'd be crazy if they do. I'm going to Ultra Ball away Research and Rod. Because I'm going to Ultra away these away. Because I'd rather keep Rod in case I need it to get Pokemon back and just keep up the pressure. And I know I hate getting rid of a boss, but I don't want to get rid of Dodrio because this is my whole draw engine for next turn. I've got guaranteed. So next turn I can evolve, use Research, then Zooming Draw. And I think that'll be our best route. We'll get 9 cards because of the top deck. Top deck's 1, Zooming Draw's 2, 7 off Research, 9 cards right there. So, not bad at all for us. And I think those odds are pretty good to hit a Steelix. And hopefully some more Doduos. Set up our board a little bit more. But I'm actually really curious to see what our opponent's playing. It seems like it's just going to be some really chaotic grass box. Which, I mean, I'll take... Yeah, no, this is going to be a match. Oh, no shot. The Alone Executor with the Growing Tail. Yeah, get a whole bunch of energy in play. Love to see it. That is a fun deck for sure. This reminds me of... I hate to bash on it. Because, I totally understand. Yo, this person's playing what they got. They're playing all the fun cards that they love to see. But I remember when I started playing, too.
Like my friends and I, we all thought, and the full art Nemona goes crazy. Actually, I like that card. That's a cool looking card. The best way we thought, like this was before we knew about meta and looking up videos on YouTube because we didn't care to. We just played with what we like found in our attics and went to a store and bought a bunch of packs. We just played every single different V Pokemon we could in the Sword Shield era, and it was like that was the way to do it for us. Hold up, we've got a decent setup here. But obviously it's not the best way to play. I mean, ideally you want to just be more consistent and play just 2 different Pokemon or something like that and just play a bunch of copies of them. But we thought like, oh, the more V Pokemon in your deck, the better. And it was so chaotic. We were a mess, but we had a ton of fun. Like, I wouldn't change it for anything. I think this is the proper way to learn, is to just experiment, make decks like this for yourself. It doesn't matter how good they are, as long as you're making them. That's really all that matters. So we're going to zooming draw here before the Great Ball, and now I really need to hit a Steelix off this. And we don't. Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Okay, so I could play the Cape. I don't know if they'll be taking a KO next turn. What does Noble Light do on Superior V? Heal 30 damage from each Pokemon. Wait, what? Yo, that's like the hard counter to my deck. Don't heal my Pokemon. Oh, don't play that there. Play this here. And let's play the Steel Energy on this guy, just in case. And, yeah, let me just swing with Hard Headbutt. We have 220 HP. They are hitting for weakness. It is a grass deck, but I'm hoping Hard Headbutt will flip heads. It doesn't. All right. Hard Headbutt, phenomenal attack, if you need to. If heads, prevent all damage and effects of attacks done from opposing Pokemon to this Pokemon. So, it's not from opposing Pokemon, actually, but it would just be for the next turn. So, just your opponent's turn, which would be any other Pokemon. So, you know, it's a great attack if you flip heads. However, we're sitting here, we're just a sitting duck hoping we don't get KO'd. And they don't use Noble Light. That would be obnoxious. Oh, they could use Ogerpon. That would cook us. I didn't really think about that. If they have the manual attach, they could just retreat. At least they gave us the energy back. I appreciate them for that. And they're going to put 2 energy there. Alright, maybe they'll just swing with their active. Use a little Solar Beam action. That'd be okay. We'd waste Cape. I didn't really think about all that, to be honest. And it seems like we're going to be wasting Cape here because they're swinging 240. Man, I should have kept that Cape. That Cape could have been big on a Dodrio. But that's fine. That's fine. I really need to get Steelix next turn. And I am going to... I don't want to waste my second Rod. I might just be forced to Iono here. I don't want to lose 2 Rod against like a bulky deck where I might need to loop back some Dodrios. So that's a nice energy to draw into. I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to Rod yet because the chance of hitting Steelix are highest off this Iono and I don't want to shuffle the deck. So I'm just going to Iono now, put them at a new 5 and hopefully get me Steelix. Oh my gosh. This is bad. This is bad news bears. Let me bench this guy, and let me use Zooming Draw, and then Great Ball, and then I will make a decision on if I Ultra Ball next turn. And we get another Rod. That's not something I want to get rid of, but alright. Hopefully we just get a Steelix off the Great Ball. Perfect. Alright, that's fine. That's perfect. So now, with a hand like this, I could take another Onix. Wouldn't be too bad. And then I could... Oh, we don't have another Onix. Okay. I lied. So I'm not going to take an Onix. Seems I'm not really going to be taking much of anything. I guess I could take Manaphy just then out of the deck. It doesn't stop Earthquake damage, so it's kind of whatever. And we're only down 1 Onix, so we prized 1. I think we're playing 3 Onix, so like a 3-3 line, and then 4 Dodrios. So, I can't really Rod then Ultra Ball just to get Onix back. Maybe I should have checked beforehand. I'll just swing with Earthquake. We'll put ourselves at a lot of damage, which is nice, and I guarantee the KO on Superior with Dodrio. So if they take a KO here, we're good. That being said, though, we also resist grass. We have an active 210 HP on Steelix, only because we're resisting. And that might be enough to actually get us through this turn with Steelix, and that would be the best thing that could happen. I mean, honestly, I might even just hold the hand and see what they can do. They heal 70! Yo, what? Stop! Cut it out! What? No shot. You're playing Cook too. So you've got 130 HP left. Thank God. Because that's what Earthquake is swinging for. And if you choose to use Noble Light... Actually, I'm going to be pressed if you use Noble Light. Because if you just heal 30 from my whole board and just make my Earthquake do nothing, I'm going to be upset. So, I don't know. I mean, this is definitely a casual ladder match. But somehow they've got the secret spice to deal with a deck that wants to do damage to itself. Man, that's brutal right there.
So I'm curious to see what else they got in their hand. I'm hoping just attack. They're only doing 90 damage. It's two-shotting Steelix, and I'm KOing them in return. And then I don't even think I will research. I'll probably just hold a hand because I don't want to get rid of Rod. I don't really want to get rid of Hassel. And they Solar Beam, thank God. Alright, that's good. That's better for us. Much, much better for us. However, that Box of Disaster might be a problem with our Dodrio. Yeah, I'm definitely not researching this hand away. We've got the rest of our rods in our hand, of course. That would happen. So, we'll just zoom and draw. And get another Nest Ball, which really doesn't help us much. I don't want to just use Rod for one Onix. I feel like that's a little bit of a waste. So I'm just going to swing with Earthquake, put Perfect Math on this Dodrio, hope they KO us next turn, which they should with Ogerpon, and then I can swing with Dodrio. So we'll take two prizes here. Iono wouldn't be bad either. Double Artazon is crazy, especially when I got no Onix left in the deck, or Duos. I got nothing in the deck, so there's a lot of basic Pokemon search for a man who's prized or discarded all of the rest of his basic Pokemon, so that's not ideal, but whatever. And our opponent, yeah, they've got a guarantee KO on our active Steelix, and we've got a guarantee KO right back with Dodrio swinging 280. So you know what? If I get Boss's Orders, I don't even think I would use it, actually. I think I would still just kill their active. And we'll see where they get energy down. The one thing I'm a little scared of is this Zarude with Box of Disaster. If we one-shot that, which we will with our Duos and Drios and whatnot, we take 8 damage counters, which is bad, because that'll probably return KO us. But our opponent's fighting pretty well. We're tied for prizes right now, but I am going to go up 2 and then force them to just keep taking 1. So I think here's where our lead's going to start to grow a little bit. That being said, ooh, Damage Pump is actually kind of nice. I am going to just Rod back. Honestly, I know we have a Steelix left in the deck. I don't think I'll need more than one other Onix. So I think I'm just going to take one Onix, one energy, because I know Steelix is still in the deck. And I like that a little bit more. I'll also play Nest Ball and take out Onix and just make sure, yep, there's 2 Steelix, 2 Dodrios, so that's nice. And I could Ultra Ball them this turn. I really don't need these 2 Artazons, like, at all. I kind of like that, actually. Kind of like that a lot. I don't need any more basic Pokemon. I'm fully prepared to finish this game with the Pokemon we got on the board. So I'm going to take one Dodrio here. And if Hassel can pull us like 1 or 2 energy and Dodrio, I think we're fine. So we got Dodrio. And actually that's perfect. So we can take... I don't mind Jet Energy if they go for a stall. And I don't hate... You know what? Actually, this is pretty much everything we need to close out the game, I think, right here. So, because we have Damage Pump, too. So, I like that a lot. We can put these down here. I'm going to put another Steel Energy on this guy. I'll hold the Jet. In case they boss up this Onix, I can just Jet my other Dodrio. And I'm going to use Zooming Draw on both of these, put them at 70. So, now Damage Pump can just fully set up whoever I need. And we got Iono for next turn as well, if I don't want to get rid of the hand. So, that's good. But I think next turn we just should have game no matter what. Steelix is crazy as well. Actually, yeah, that's insane. So we're going to not KO myself. I'm not going to use Zooming Draw. I'm just going to swing 280. That would have been so embarrassing if I just swung for KO of myself. But I remembered that the ability you can actually use to KO yourself on the Guardies. And there's the rest of our basic Pokemon. Little too late, but I think it should be good to close out the rest of the game. Our opponent's going to be swinging with Head Swing, doing 30 damage to a benched Pokemon. Oh, you know what Oh, no, we got Manaphy. Alright, we're good. I was going to say they could KO a Dodrio and take 2 prizes as well, but we actually did get Manaphy this game, and we didn't KO it with Earthquake, which is really, really good news for us. So, they're going to get a big ol' Head Swing here. It's not going to do any damage on our bench, and we should walk away with a pretty easy game number 2. Showing off just the power. You know, some good setup for Dodrio. I know. It's not we didn't play against the most competitive deck. I get it. But I'm sick of just trying to play on the ladder and running into Dragapult when that's not good. Like, it's not... No one wants to see a deck get hammered. It's not fun. So, yeah. I'm playing on the casual ladder today, and I'm just going to be showing more of, like, a pretty generic setup on how well the deck does. Actually, that doesn't KO it. So, let me put another damage counter on it with Zoom and Draw. And that should be enough for the KO right there. So, we should be swinging, what, 25? Yeah, 250 damage. Onto Alolan Executor V, which wraps it up for a very straightforward match number 2 against a chaotic grass box. But, you know, it was a fun deck. I mean, fun deck. I hope that person has seen the video, joins the channel. Yo, let me help you cook with Alolan Executor. I love that card. Actually, I have like the
the like plus size card of Alolan Executor. I think it's like I think those cards are so much fun. So yo, if that person happens to be seeing this video, yo, let me know. We're making an Alolan Executor deck for you. So easy match number 2. Let's get into match number 3. Welcome to match number 3. We did take 2 mulligans to start, and are we going first, second? I don't totally remember second. All right, so not really too ideal with a hand like this. I mean, we're kind of missing a draw supporter, which hurts a bit. But we're up against, I have no idea. This might be like the newer Chien-Pao build with like Rotom and Dunsparce. Capturing Roma, never mind. I have no idea what we're up against. Mousehold, maybe? That'd be crazy. That'd be crazy seeing another Mousehold player. That being said, I did play one game in between, game 2 and 3 on the casual ladder still. Yep, there's Frigid Bags. Alright, so it is the new Chien-Pao list, which is actually pretty bad because I've got a awful hand now that I think about it going into Chien-Pao. If they use Radiant Greninja next turn, we are toast because I will lose my only Doduo that I will get in play, but whatever, I'll figure it out after that. Anyways, that one match was Regidrago V-Star, so it seems no matter if I'm on the casual or... Wait, they failed it. Wait, what? No way. Why didn't you at least take back Excalibur? That's interesting. It seems no matter if I'm on the casual ladder or the ranked ladder, all I'm going to see are a lot of Frigibags and Dragapults, apparently. So, I don't know what's up with today, but it seems like the only matchups I'm going to see for the most part are Chien-Paos and backs, what do you call it? Regidragos and Dragapults, and that's not what I want at all. And Iron Bundle hits the floor, which means Chien-Pao, or oh my gosh, wow, I cannot talk right now. Which means Radiant Greninja is not in play, which is definitely better for us. And Iono I like a lot here. That will keep us in the game, I think, a bit more if we could just establish a bit of a stronger board state. So for now, let me get a Doduo down, as well as attach energy to active. I could honestly put Cape on Doduo, just in case they somehow do swing with like a Radiant Greninja, but then they could just use Iron Bundle, promote this, and take 2 prizes, which I really don't want to deal with either. So you know what? I think I'm just going to use Iono now, put them back down to 6 cards, as well as myself, and we, yep, definitely a rougher spot here. They gave me a thumbs up, gotta give them a thumbs up right back, and I'm going to take another Doduo and just hope for the best that I can dodge Radiant Greninja. So I like that. And we're going to also hard headbutt. Yo, what? Give me that heads. Let me see it. Let me see the heads, Onix. Let me show them what's up. Yeah, they're not attacking me. We like that. We like that every time, dog. Alright, hard headbutt. No damage, no effects of attacks. Nothing, period, done to this Onix next turn. Unless they get like an Iron Bundle boss play or something like that. Which, actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, they could do. I literally am staring down Iron Bundle. But if they do that, they're not playing Irida. So maybe they'll whiff Excalibur. I don't know. I don't really know. Nope, they're not whiffing Excalibur. That's for sure. So, what else they got? They got a full bench. Maybe they can't set up a big attacker. All right, there's Chien-Pao. Good to know it was prized. Good to know they'll also probably get a KO on Doduo this turn, which actually, you know what? As long as Onix stays alive at this point, I think that's all that matters. Because Onix could take a return KO on anything in their deck except Rotom, which I don't think they'll promote. So that's fine. I would not be upset if they used that Chien-Pao to KO just our active Doduo. As long as they're not using Radiant Greninja like right now and KOing both Doduos, we'd be chilling. Although, against Chien-Pao, I think we could still make that comeback. Because we have research. I could have rotted them back and like tried to set them up a little later, which is possible. Like, that's something that I 100% can do against this deck. And there's a lot of energy right there with Hailblade. Did they play a supporter? I wasn't 100% paying attention. I don't think they did, no. Okay, they didn't use boss. I was going to say if they boss Bionics. I'm like, it's not good. It's not good at all. But they're just going to KO our active Doduo, keep the energy on Chien-Pao, and I'm going to tell them to figure it out because I am taking the KO on Chien-Pao for sure. Got it like that in hand. And I'm going to research here, so I'm probably going to Rod back. Ooh, boss is kind of crazy as well. Boss actually goes insane if I could take out Excalibur. I kind of like that. Because then no matter what, they can't take a KO with Chien-Pao. Because we have 180 HP. Unless they evolve another one. But I feel like if they could have, they would have. I don't know. I don't know. I'm tempted to just research, though, and just establish my board more. I think this is a fine enough matchup
where as long as we set up our own board state, I really don't care if they've got Qianpaos and Excaliburs in play. I think we'll just vibe a little more. So I'm just going to research here. And this hand I'm honestly in love with, because Manaphy will protect us from any Greninja shenanigans going forward. And we can also set up another Doduo and Onix, which is big. That's really big for this is actually perfect. Alright, sweet. So here we're going to use Earthquake and swing 260, which is great. We are now up a prize, and we have a full board set up. So now we're cooking. This is the deck at highest function. Oh my god, yeah, we're on fire this game for sure. I mean, with our hand, actually, I can fully evolve my entire bench next turn. I just need Ultra Ball for one more Dodrio, and then I can even rod back this Onix, Steelix, and Energy, and then use Artazon to take back the Onix. So we are in business next turn. I'm liking that a lot. And although we will be going down our second rod, but we only need, I think, this rod and next rod if they take the KO on the active, which they honestly might not. I mean, what did they just... I wasn't really paying attention. They played rod. Okay. So they can use Artazon for bundle, but, like, whatever. I could just give them... They pass. Okay. Okay. So we'll go up another prize card, and I gotta be careful with my damage counters now, because I don't want to run into a scenario where I just start KOing everything in play. That would be bad. So what do I want to get rid of? We drew rod as well, so I can't really... Let me use one zooming draw on this guy, so he'll go up to 40. I just want to be careful that I don't put myself in KO range. I am in love with having Iono more than research, I think, with this hand. So I'm going to get rid of research and Great Ball and just take another Dodrio. And then I can use this zooming draw, try to get one energy, and then I might just vibe for next turn, because I really, really like our setup a lot. We get boss. Oh my god. I could just boss up Excalibur. I think that would, like, cook him for the most part. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Alright, so we are running away with an insanely dominant third game. So we might actually be able to... Is that 3-0? I think it would be. Oh, they scoop? Yeah, that's a quick 3-0 with my boy Steelix. I'm loving that. So that was... I mean, we had an insane turn right there. So we just absolutely devastated our opponent for the rest of it. Qianpaos is, I think, like, as close to an auto win as one could get in a deck like this, because just everything is lethal except for Manaphy. Also, Stall, I think, is surprisingly another good matchup. You can just fill your bench with anything but Manaphy, and you have enough energy to attack with everything, since everything only costs 1. So, not a bad matchup either. Anything with Dragapult is a loss, and it's miserable, but again, we're playing Steelix. It happens. That's what happens with decks like this. You know, there's always going to be one deck that you just can't beat, and right now, that is Steelix, or Dragapult. I think Guardy's a bit more difficult. You could work around Guardy if you play your attacks right and rely on Dodrio more than Steelix. But yeah, I mean, this deck was a ton of fun to play. You want a fun deck to play at a locals tournament, I think this could be a great pick for you. So, you know, with that being said, thank you guys so much on the support for the most recent videos. I am seriously so beyond thankful for just all the feedback I've been getting and the community I've been building. It's been a ton of fun for me, so thank you guys so much for helping me out with that. That being said, stay epic. Peace.